thousands of people living near a tailing pond is bad enough, but shockingly, we found villagers even walking through these radioactive dumps, using them as shortcuts. We are right in front of tailing pond number 3. People are not supposed to come and go here, and there's supposed to be security in this post over here to prevent them doing so. But as you can see, there's absolutely nobody here. We found the same situation at tailing pond 2. It is saturated with radioactive waste and is not used now. Because of the monsoon, grass is growing on it. But the waste buried here will continue to radiate for up to 80,000 years. आप कहाँ से आ रहे थे, कहाँ जा रहे हैं?
तटे से आ रहे, इधर जा रहा है जहाँ।
रोज आते जाते हैं क्या?
रोज आते जाते हैं।
क्यों?
इधर हम लोग को खेत वाले देखने आते हैं हम लोग इधर।
आपको मालूम है कि यहाँ अधिक विकिरण है?
तो मालूम है।
तब भी आते हैं?
हाँ। तो क्या करेंगे हम लोग? जब हम लोग को इधर रास्ता पहले रास्ता है ना, पुराना रास्ता, तो सबको इधर दिव्यांग से।
और ये जो आपकी गाय है, इनको भी चराते हैं यहाँ?
हाँ, चराते हैं इसके गाय।
कहाँ?
इसमें।
What wholesome food for cattle, and from the cattle into the human food chain, and everybody's feasting on radioactivity out here. When we confronted UCIL with this, they went into denial mode.
They are having higher than normal radiation values, and that is why the tailing dam is fenced.
Are the tailing dams properly fenced everywhere?
Yeah, it is properly fenced, and we have now Central Industrial Security Force to guard it.
We have also seen people and cattle crossing the tailing dams.
I have not seen.
We have seen cattle grazing in the tailing dams.
That may be your information.
How UCIL deals with this uranium waste is just one part of the story. The other side of the horror tale is what happens much before the waste is even generated. With cameraman Zahir Bagh, this is Jujhar Singh in Jadugoda for Headlines Today. Look how UCIL transports the mined uranium rock to Jadugoda for processing. It's taken in trucks, uncovered and overfull. Whenever these trucks go over speed breakers and potholes, pieces of rock fall on the road. 200 trucks ply daily. According to the Gardikar investigation, wherever the rock is spread, the radiation level is 5 to 6 times higher than normal. Yet, people live around here, and they walk over the fallen pieces of uranium rock. But UCIL says, no, this is not happening.
We are inspecting and we are observing the trucks are not overloaded.
और जो ओर है और रॉक है वो भी क्या पूरी तरह कवर होता है?
रॉक कवर होती है टार्पोलिन के द्वारा।
पूरी तरह
कवर होती है,
पर पूरी तरह की नहीं।
कवर होती है, मैंने आपको जवाब दिया ना।
कुछ गिरता है सड़क पर?
सड़क पर नहीं गिरता है।
In fact, it's not just the roads where radioactive rock is lying around. Overlooking the entrance to the Narwa Pahar mine is a dumping yard for radioactive overburdened rock. It's just meters away from the main road and just 200 meters away from the river. When the wind blows, the radioactive dust contaminates the air, the road and the river. In fact, until recently, UCIL used to turn a blind eye when building contractors picked up some of this waste uranium rock and sold it to ignorant villagers. ये घर किस मटेरियल से बना?
वो जो कंपनी की जो ये डाला गया था ना, स्क्रैप जो स्टोन पत्थर जो निकलता था, उसी से चुन के मैंने वो मजदूर लाते थे और गिट्टी से अपना जो भी ढलाई होता था।
क्या बना उस पत्थर के साथ?
जो छत।
आपको मालूम है कि ये इससे खतरा है?
खतरा के बारे में तो मुझे मालूम नहीं।
The Gardikar investigation found that people who live in these houses for even 12 hours a day are exposed to a 53% higher dosage of radiation than the maximum allowed limit. But why would one expect UCIL to be concerned about the health and safety of these people when it's hardly bothered about those who work for them? This 38-year-old man, who doesn't wish to be identified, works with UCIL. He told us that for 30 years the company did not provide any protection whatsoever to its underground miners who extract the radioactive rock.
हमको हैंड ग्लव्स देते हैं, रेस्पिरेटर देते हैं, ईयर माप देते हैं, ईयर प्लग भी देते हैं, गॉगल्स देते हैं।
अच्छा, कब से दे रहे हैं?
ये हमको करीब 4 से हमको मिला है।
और उसके पहले?
उसके पहले तो नहीं था,
कुछ भी नहीं था।
कुछ भी नहीं था।
And that's why when you talk to the locals here, you hear grim stories about the older employees of UCIL.
1960 का जितना भी काम किया आदमी सब मारा हुआ है, सब मर गया है। चलिए हम ये गांव का उस टाइम का हम ही खाली जिंदा है।
And there are going to be grim stories even about thousands of present employees, because although the underground workers now get protection, the overground ones, like those who load and unload the radioactive rock, are still unprotected and directly exposed to radiating uranium rock. Shri Prakash made a documentary on Jadugoda 4 years ago. He has this to say.
The reason is, if they will go with this international law safety standard, the cost of production will go quite high. And on camera, one of the officers admitted this even in my film.
The brazen flouting of a large number of national and international safety norms by UCIL will keep Jadugoda radiating for up to 80,000 years. 50,000 people in and around Jadugoda are dying a silent death, or worse, living half-lives. Lakhs more spread over 3 states of India are being slowly poisoned. These are the sacrificial lambs of India's nuclear program. When will the government stand up and take action? With cameraman Zahir Bagh, this is Jujhar Singh in Jadugoda for Headlines Today. When will the government stand up and take action? Well, Sunita Narayan, the director of the Science for the Center for Science and Environment, CSE, is here in the studio with us. The CSE, of course, most well known recently for blowing the whistle on pesticides being present in cola drinks. Sunita, first of all, when will the government stand up and take action?
I think, Jujhar, when more reports like this come out in the public domain, when the government is forced to accept that there is a problem that it has been denying for too long, we have to understand that the nuclear establishment in this country has been a very closed establishment. It has found it easy to deny and to say that everything that you present to them is always wrong because rest of us don't understand nuclear science. So I think the accountability of the nuclear establishment must be increased, and I hold the Prime Minister's office in this context responsible, because the nuclear establishment has the privilege of being responsible to the highest authority in the land, which is the Prime Minister.
Is it so sensitive that the lives of 50,000 people can be put at risk?
See, I think the question is, nothing is so sensitive. We have to understand that if you're a humane society, nothing can be acceptable that 50,000 or even one human being is put at risk. I would argue very strongly that your series shows that there is a problem that needs to be addressed. You cannot explain this as a cost that has to be paid. The question is, the people on whose backs then this cost is being paid, are they consulted? Are they part of that process?
The problem has been there for 35 years. It's affecting tens of thousands of people, but like you saw in the report, the UCIL chairman did not even want to acknowledge there is a problem. He was in complete denial mode. Why not at least acknowledge there is a problem to try and set it right?
But this is not the first time, Jadugoda. You must understand, denial is the most valuable tool of any official. You deny, But in most contexts, you are not able to deny because there is an ability of public science, of institutions.
Didn't he make a fool of himself? Let's put it straight.
Well, I think it's very clear that that gentleman on your camera came out as someone who really should have known much more, and he was clearly a man who was in denial even on camera, which is very difficult to fool.
When we were there in Jharkhand, we found, of course, it's a tribal area. Santhal tribes live over there. According to them, they felt that, you know, because they're tribal, they're poor, people can walk over them, the government can walk over them, and that's why they're mining over there, and that's why they don't care.
Now, I think there are two issues here. Let's be clear about it. One, I think there is a clear issue of the fact that the nuclear establishment, and that is particularly unique about the nuclear establishment in India, which has been very unaccountable. It is also a problem that the science of nuclear science is so much in the closed domain, and therefore for anyone to challenge it is very difficult. You don't have the information, you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the technical knowledge. It becomes so easy to deny and to say the problem doesn't exist.
What is the dividing line? How much you think ought to be questioned?
I think everything in an open society, in a society which has respect for each other, in a society which has nothing to hide. After all, you are not questioning the nuclear program. You are not questioning nuclear energy. You are not questioning.
Yeah, we need all of that. What we question is the manner in which
it's doing. And I think that surely is something that should be open for debate. After all we are saying is that don't assume that just because that you can close down your sector because you are unaccountable. The nuclear establishment in this country has seen itself only accountable to the Prime Minister.
What did you think of what you saw?
Well, I think of your series, it's a very powerful series. I think for the first time we have visual documentation, which will become very difficult to deny, because as I said constantly, the trouble with the nuclear establishment is there is very little knowledge in the public domain, and therefore it is so easy to dismiss, to deny, to confuse. The three things that I think need to be taken account of very clearly. One, I think the issue of the tailing ponds. Very clear that you cannot allow these tailing ponds to become to be used for grazing, to be open access for people, to have settlements close to them. That even their own documents would very clearly establish is completely unacceptable. The second is the visuals that you have of the diversion that is taking place of the wastewater. Clearly that is not part of the plan. That is not acceptable. And thirdly, I think most importantly and most shockingly and most touchingly is the fact that there are people who are affected. Now, I don't know, you don't know that congenital abnormality is because of radiation. We can never know, but we need to investigate it. Your visuals are powerful enough to be able to convince anyone that these are affecting children. This is not the way we want India to grow up.
Right, well, I hope the government and the Prime Minister's office in particular is listening, and that, as we said, they will stand up and take action. Sunita Narayan, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.